Of course, the weather and road conditions. It did rain a lot last night, Kellyanne, so I know that there's a lot of roads that are wet.
Yes,
so we need to be careful.
You absolutely still want to be careful, and I do want to let you know that we still have a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Duval County. I do want to give you a look at the wider radar to start because it's really not looking like much this morning. Natalia is seeing the dry conditions, but we are expecting some changes as we have some rain moving up from the south. But let's get you to that flash flood warning. So it includes Freer. That flash flood warning is going to go until 8 o'clock this morning. And then this green box you see that encompasses the rest of northwestern Duval County, that's a flood advisory that's going to go until 6 o'clock this morning. But out in Freer, we've picked up over 3 inches of precipitation. So that's why they have the National Weather Service has gone ahead and issued that flash flood warning. Again, that flash flood warning is going to go until 8 o'clock. Do not drive through any flooded roadways. Let's head down south where we have some thunderstorms out in the Gulf. Not really a lot of thunderstorm activity out in Kennedy County, but certainly some heavier rainfall drifting up into Clayburgh County. Outside of Kingsville, just a couple of showers there. But we are expecting this batch of rainfall to move in your direction. So Natalia, if you could still hear me, rain is on the way. It's just not there yet. Then as we get towards Refugio County, B County, we do have some heavier rainfall, some steadier rainfall. Just outside of Port Lavaca, they also have a flash flood warning there as well. So we do have some rainfall, but we're really not seeing a whole lot of that right now. Most of the heaviest stuff is now off of our coastline. But if we look closely at our radar, we can see some counterclockwise rotation. This is that area of low pressure that we've been talking about all week long. It is looking like it is pretty decent in terms of convection, especially once that center of low pressure gets out into the Gulf. It'll tap into those warmer waters and it will gradually try to develop into a tropical system. So the latest thinking is that this low could reemerge into the Gulf where conditions are somewhat favorable for development and could potentially become a short-lived tropical storm. Right now, the National Hurricane Center is giving it about a 60% chance of development in the next 2 and 7 days. I don't think that this is going to be a tropical storm that impacts us because by the time it moves out into the Gulf, it's moving away from our area, but it could be a problem for parts of Houston, the rest of the Texas Gulf Coast, as well as the northern Gulf Coast. I do want to time out today's rainfall hour by hour. And take this futurecast run with a grain of salt because it's really overperforming at the moment. But I do think it gives you a general idea of what we can expect throughout the day today. This morning, showers. You can see that counterclockwise circulation from that low as it slowly pushes offshore. With that counterclockwise circulation, we will get some wraparound moisture like we have been seeing. And because this low is going to be slow to move out into the Gulf, with the constant counterclockwise circulation funneling that rainfall in some neighborhoods, that's when we start to get concerned about the flash flooding potential. Not necessarily intense rainfall, but just steady rain, exactly like what we're seeing in Freer in Duval County at the moment. Then this evening, conditions gradually improve. We'll still track some showers and some wraparound moisture, but the rain chances are much lower and our flooding threat gradually begins to go down. Then on Wednesday afternoon, we're looking at a lot of sunshine as that low clears and moves out into the Gulf. Also want to remind you, technically, we are underneath that flood watch until 7 o'clock on Thursday morning, but I wouldn't be surprised if this does get canceled even before Thursday morning, maybe even gets canceled later on this evening, if not tomorrow morning, because our rain chances quickly begin to go down. But also just keep in mind, we still have that moderate risk of flooding from Corpus Christi and up towards the northeastern portions of the Texas Gulf Coast. The rest of the area, anywhere from a marginal risk to a slight risk, meaning isolated, localized flash flooding will be possible. And that's exactly in line with where our rainfall forecast is going to be. The heavier stuff from Corpus Christi up towards Houston. The further inland you get today, the lower our rain chances and rainfall amounts will be because that low is quickly pushing off the coast. So to kind of recap everything this morning, we are going to be tracking scattered rain and some thunderstorms. Looking ahead to about the 4 o'clock hour, we're done with the weather impact alert because our rain chances and our flooding potential really goes down. And then this evening, we'll still track some showers, but nothing quite significant. Then get ready for the 7-day forecast because starting tomorrow, we'll have a few isolated showers. 92 degrees. Thursday, lots of sunshine. We hit 96 degrees. Friday, we should be at 94, not 84, 94 degrees with a 20% coverage of rain.